Drew, how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing well, John. Thank you. What's on your mind?
Drew, I have a question here for you. And to build up to the question, back in the summer, we had seen President Trump sign an executive order that aims to allow things like private equity and real estate and commodities to be investable within 401ks. And it's just a reminder that in this day and age that we're living in, it's pretty easy for just about anybody to invest in just about anything in just about every type of brokerage account. And we're seeing this in recent years with Coinbase and Robinhood. But in those cases, it's people maybe using some extra money that they have on hand. The thing that's interesting when it comes to the 401ks is that this is now the primary retirement source for many people. So to be investing in these things that are more speculative, that don't have expected returns in the same way a globally diversified portfolio would, it's interesting. And you know, for some of these people, it also might be exciting, right? It's different to invest in private equity or cryptocurrency or options because it's different. Yet you still have many financial advisors and certified financial planners like ourselves who do not encourage that. We like to avoid having investments in those areas, in those sectors, and we continue to teach the importance of globally diversified portfolios. So, Drew, my question to you today is simply why should somebody invest in a globally diversified portfolio?
Right, great. When we have someone, a client, come to us with maybe a unique investment idea, three questions we like to ask them just related to that investment is one, what purpose does it fill in the portfolio? You got lots of different things in the portfolios we built. How does this play with the other things in that portfolio? Just what's its role? Um, Two, what are your expectations? What is the expected return of this investment? And we point out God set up a world where risk and return, they're always related. What's the expected return for this? And then three, what's the cost? What does it cost to participate? When you add something to portfolio, usually there's a cost. And then eventually when you want to liquidate it, you have to sell it. There's a cost to that too. What does it cost to get rid of it? And those are just three initial questions we'd like to ask when someone brings an idea that they want to add to their investments. Let me ask you this, John. What kind of things have you heard lately that people want to put into their portfolio?
Yeah, some of the things mentioned, cryptocurrency has been popular in recent years. We've had people ask us about that. Not that they've pursued it any further, but certainly questions have arisen. Even more recently, I'd say private equity more so. And then even options as well. Things that are almost in their mind get rich quick. Those are the type of things that people are at least asking about, not necessarily pursuing.
In lots of those cases, with some of the things you mentioned, like crypto, we don't invest in crypto, but the underlying technology, we would point out you've got a portfolio of things you're already invested in. Companies all over the globe are utilizing that to drive profits and returns and bring goods and services to market. In the case of private equity, most of the things that are invested in private equity, once again, you're participating in those things. It's just private equity would be a different avenue to get to some of those things, whether it's artificial intelligence or real estate or whatever. Again, we point out you're participating in that in a globally diversified portfolio. They're all great. Usually, when people come to us with one of those things, they're really asking us to overweight the portfolio in
Mhm.
those areas. If you have a globally diversified portfolio, it's pretty evenly weighted. So to overweight in one of those areas is really asking us to speculate on what's going to happen next. And speculation is not something you want to do. We always say, I have opinions of what's going to happen, but we wouldn't want to speculate with your nest egg, with your future. And the reason we wouldn't is because we don't know what's going to happen next, and we think Scripture backs up, that assertion. Solomon in Ecclesiastes 11 starts out towards the beginning of the chapter, says, divide your portion to 7 or even to 8, for you do not know, or you do not know what disaster may fall upon the earth. And the rest of that chapter is full of those words, for you do not know. As you do not know the way the Spirit goes into the bones of a woman with child, so you do not know the works of God who makes all things. If we can't figure out like how life begins, how will we ever get our arms around the millions of variables that go into life as it happens? He goes on and says, sow your seed in the morning and withhold not your hand in the evening, for you do not know which will prosper, this or that, or whether both alike will be good. And again, to drive it home, we don't know what's going to happen, which is why you want broad diversification. And the people we help get a full helping of it in this globally diversified portfolio. So, in short, asking those questions: what role does it fill? What's the cost? What are the expectations? Just even asking that helps drive home the need for broad diversification in a globally diversified portfolio. Thanks for asking. Great
Thanks
question,
for the
John.
insight, Drew. Appreciate that.